It's Wednesday, November 7th, and time for a little update on my book haul this current week. This I picked up at Strand the other day. It's called Three Roads to the Alamo, The Lives and Fortunes of David Crockett, James Bowie, and William Barrett Travis. It's by William C. Davis. It was outside for $1, nice shape. I don't have it, and so for $1 that was a good find. This I picked up on eBay. It's called Butcher's Crossing by John Williams. It's supposed to be a famous book. It's about a young man who graduates, I think he graduates Harvard, and he goes out west and becomes a buffalo hunter. Supposed to be good. I'm looking forward to reading it. And this I have in soft cover, but I wanted to get the hardcover, and there is no dust jacket. It's the collected stories of Jack Schaefer. So these I guess his collected short stories. I have another one that's his a bunch of his novels put together. Probably had a dust jacket at some point, but price was right, and I wanted to get it in a hardcover. That is it for now. It's Wednesday. It's an odd day for me to do a video, but I happen to be alone for a little while here, and it was a good time to do this little update. Till next time, bye. It's Thursday night, November 8th, and time for another book haul update. I did one yesterday. Usually I don't do them 2 days in a row. But what happened was I was not at work the last 2 days, so I did not go to Strand. I did go to work today and did pretty good because I haven't been there the last couple of days. I guess they put out some new books and nobody picked them up. I found them today. So let's go over what I purchased. Even though I have Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, this is a version I don't have. It's an enriched classic. The cover's kind of goofy. It's like a what is that, a peacock on the cover? But there's additional materials written by Karen Davidson, and so for 50 cents I figured, what the hell, it's a nice shape. Then this was there the other day and I didn't get it, and now it was still there and I thought, what the hell, let me get it. Long Ride Home by W. Michael Gear, and it's in nice shape. Soft cover, $1. It's a Western. I guess it takes place in the 1860s or 1870s. This was a nice find. T.J. Stiles is the author. Jesse James is the book. Jesse James, Last Rebel of the Civil War by T.J. Stiles. And this was outside for $1. Soft cover. This looked interesting. The Causes of the War of 1812. National Honor or National Interest. And it is edited by Bradford Perkins. It's from 1962, and there's different like kind of essays in here. The desire for Canadian land, the bargain between South and West, depression stirs Western war spirit, the conquest of Canada, a tactical objective, Madison encouraged the war movement, Madison was a failure. It looks interesting. Nice shape. And this, I have a few Marlon Brando books, but I didn't have this one. This is Somebody, The Reckless Life and Remarkable Career of Marlon Brando by Stephan Cantor, Kanter. It already came with the sleeve on it, otherwise I would have put one on, but it had one. $2. And last, that I picked up for myself, is Sacagawea Speaks. This is by Joyce Badgley Hunsaker. And it's a hardcover. It's a nice shape. And I did find a book from my wife. This was a paperback. It's more like a mini softcover. It's The Beatles, The Complete Guide to Their Music by John Robertson and Patrick Humphreys. And it's hard to see. It's kind of dark, the book cover. Let's see. Where can I go? Well, anyway, you can see the 4 of them are on here. It's all their songs with like comments and quotes about the songs and what inspired them and just different details and data about all the songs. So that was it for today. Tomorrow I do not go to work. My son has an endoscopy, and Saturday we're going out. Go to a bookstore on Saturday. So till next time, bye. It's Sunday, November 18th, and time to go over this week's book haul. First, I'm going to show the 3 books I picked up at Strand this week. This is a paperback Western, Luke Short, Car in a Creek. The book has good reviews. When I was taking the sticker off with the price in the front, it peeled the cover. That's very, very rare, but it did happen on this book. Not a big deal, just 50 cents. I could probably find it again somewhere if I like the book, if I ever get around to reading it. The Notebooks of Raymond Chandler. Also includes English Summer, a Gothic Romance. This was $1 outside Strand. It's like in excellent shape. And inside the store, I don't really go in much, but sometimes I just take a quick look. I found this book, Wounded Knee, Party Politics, and the Road to an American Massacre by Heather Cox Richardson. Looks very interesting, and it was about $15. Normally, again, like I said, I wouldn't go in and spend money like that on books, but once in a while, maybe once or twice a month, I go in and buy something. Okay, we went to book sale yesterday in Poughkeepsie, and I picked up 15 books. There were 2 different locations. One was like the official book sale, and the other one is just the general library bookstore that we go to every once in a while. And so this is what I picked up in no particular order. Jeff Shara, Rise to Rebellion. There's another one. This is a Revolutionary War novel, and there's another one called Glorious Cause, and that's I think part 2 to this one. So now I have both. So I was actually looking for this and was glad to find it. Watching the Horatio Hornblower TV series, I guess it was maybe already 15, 20 years old or more, probably 1990s maybe, got me kind of interested in that type of book. And this is not the series that's based on. These are Alexander Kent books. There's 4 of them I found yesterday. They were all in excellent shape, just sitting on the shelf. They were 50 cents each. The ones I picked up are Command a King's Ship, To Glory We Steer, The Flag Captain, and Enemy in Sight. These aren't something I have to track down the whole series. If I see a book, I see it. And but they were really cool, nice covers, and for 50 cents, what the hell? It cost me $2 for those books. And they all got good reviews. Founding Brothers by Joseph P. Ellis, $1. It's like excellent shape, pretty much brand new. Tom Paine's Iron Bridge by Edward G. Gray. Looks interesting. General Crook and the Apache Wars. This is Charles F. Loomis, his dispatches about General Crook and the Apache Wars. I have this book in softcover. This was a hardcover. I've never seen it like this before, and so I was happy to find that. It's a brand new book. Got it very cheap. George Washington by John, I think you say his last name, Roadhamel. Brand new biography of Washington. This looks interesting. It's also like brand new. The Price of Valor by David A. Smith. This is about, subtitled The Life of Audie Murphy, America's most decorated hero of World War II. It's like brand new. This was cool to find. Running with the Devil. A backstage pass to the wild times, loud rock, and the down and dirty truth behind the making of Van Halen by Noel E. Monk with Joe Layden. And Monk was a manager of Van Halen from 1978 to 85, which is pretty much all the Roth years, right? This is something I don't know if I'll ever get to read it, but it just looked interesting. It was only it was $2. Usually paperbacks, soft covers are $1, but at this particular book sale, it was $2. Hell Itself: The Battle of the Wilderness, May 7th, 1864, by Chris Makowski. And it's like brand new. Excellent price. Got great reviews. The Apache Diaries, A Father-Son Journey. Grenville Goodwin and Neil Goodwin. Looks interesting, and I do want to read that in the coming year. That and like 100 other books. I thought I had this book, but I didn't. It's a World War II Time Life books, History of the Second World War, forward by Eric Severide, by the editors of Time Life Books. And last, this book I have, but it's such a odd book to find. I really never see it. It was in like brand new condition. It's called The West: An American Experience, and it's compiled and edited by David R. Phillips, and there's different writers in here, commentaries by David Phillips, Robert Weinstein, a forward by Robert Ahern or Ahern. I think it's pronounced Ahern. And it's just basically a big book with big pictures, and it's pretty cool. Some good stuff on Native Americans in there, and just, what the West looked like. So that was it for this particular book haul. It was a good one, and I'm out of the clear book jackets. I ordered more. I have a bunch of books here I got to put covers on. And that's about it. Next week's Thanksgiving. No plans right now for any other bookstores. I just got a Strand during my lunch break during the week. And counting down to retirement. Down to 7.5 months to go. So, moving on, moving along. Till next time. Bye. It's Thursday night, November 22nd. Yes, it's Thanksgiving. We're back from New Jersey, and I thought I'd get in a little quick book video since I'm pretty much done for the week with what I will be buying. I'm off tomorrow, Friday. I won't be going to Strand. No book plans this weekend. So let's go over what I purchased this week. Army Exploration in the American West, 1803 to 1863, by William H. Gottsman. It's got a folder in the back with maps. It's dust jacket's pretty good. It's old and a little bit on the like delicate side, but it's still there. And I'm gonna get a broad art jacket to put on this book, keep it in good shape. And this I was very surprised to find that side. $2, 30 years after, an artist's memoir of the Civil War, text and illustrations by Edwin Forbes. Dust jacket's in great shape. The book's practically brand new. It was $2. I already have it, but for $2 I had to get it again. That's a good one to have. And this is a book that I have wanted to get for a while, and I can never find a good price. Bought this on eBay. It was with like shipping very cheap, like $5 and change. So I thought I'd take a chance that hopefully it would be in good condition, and it's not that bad. It's Walks for Our Women by Colin Stewart. And Colin is not, or Colin, I'm not sure how he says his name. It's not his real name. I forget his real name, but I read a book by him maybe 2 years ago. I thought it was pretty good. And so I really wanted to get the other book by him. And like I say, it's always a high price, but this is inexpensive. It was in good shape. It's an ex-library book, which is why you see this like library sticker here. But the book itself is nice. Nothing really wrong with it. Already had a library clear jacket on it. For the price, I took a chance, and I'm happy with it. It was also a movie, this book, with Raquel Welch, which is like not that great a movie. Hopefully the book is better, but regardless, I wanted to have it. So that's it for this week. December, well, I'll be going Strand a few more times before the end of the month, but December, probably take 1 or 2 book trips. And looking forward to counting down to retirement starting in December. That'll be 7 months to go, just a few days away. Take care. It's Friday, November 30th, and it's that time of month again. It is the last video of the month. I can't believe tomorrow is December already. Wow, 7 months to retirement. So what did I get this week at Strand? Jane Austen by Brian Wilkes. It was $2. Another Jane Austen book, Jane Austen in Kent, by David Waldron Smithers. Smithers, what an English name that is. And this looks pretty good. The Crowded Prairie, American National Identity in the Hollywood Western, by Michael Coyne. John Wayne on the cover, and it was $1. Nice shape. There are some highlights in the book, but no big deal. And for $1, good enough. Okay, what books did I read this month? 6 years. This is rated out of 5 stars. So, 6 Years with the Texas Rangers by James Gillett, 4 stars. It was a pretty good book. The Cheyenne Indians by George Bird Grinnell, abridged by Joseph Fitzgerald, 4 stars. And Apache Tactics, 1830 to 1886 by Robert Watt, W-A-T-T. I gave that 4 stars also. And I'm about a third of the way through another book called Savages and Scoundrels, The Untold Story of America's Road to Empire Through Indian Territory by Paul Van de Velder. It's a weird last name. Anyway, I'm giving that 3.75 stars so far. I'd be giving it over, I'd rate it over 4 stars, except that one quote, well, there's no footnotes, so it's hard to track everything that he's quoting. But also, one quote that I did look up, he kind of combined different narrative from different pages and put it together, but you wouldn't know from reading it, so it kind of bothers me a little bit that it wasn't more clear the way he kind of melded it all together. And another quote I was looking up today, I couldn't even find anywhere searching Google. I mean, it might be a legitimate quote. Maybe he's missing a word from it, or he changed one word a little bit, and so it's just not coming up. But it is a good book. I am learning a lot and seeing things in a different light than I've seen them in the past. So it has new information to me, so it's pretty cool. Okay, what movies did I watch this month? Go back, I'm going to go in sequence from the beginning of November. I watched The Raven with Vincent Price and Boris Karloff and Peter Lorre and Jack Nicholson. That's from 1963. It's obviously called The Raven. It's based on Edgar Allan Poe, but it's not really. I mean, if you read the Raven poem and you watch the movie, they're just calling it The Raven. Not that I don't even know what movie you would make from that poem, but I gave it 2 stars. It was kind of silly. Peeping Tom, no one that I really know in this movie. It's from the Raven movie was from 1963. Peeping Tom is from 1960. I gave 3.75 stars. The King of Marvin Gardens, Jack Nicholson and Bruce Dern, Ellen Burstyn. I figured I'd like that more. Scott Carruthers was in it, from The Shining. See, he was in another movie with Jack Nicholson, The King of Marvin Gardens, which came out before The Shining. And that movie is from 1972, and I gave that 2 stars. Hard to believe that I would do that, but I did. I did not think it was a very good movie. The Devil's Disciple with Burt Lancaster, Laurence Olivier, and Kirk Douglas, 1959. I gave that 2 stars. Paris When It Sizzles, Audrey Hepburn and William Holden from 1964. I gave that 2.5 stars. A lot of these older movies, I thought I liked them more. They weren't so good. Christine with Rebecca Hall, Michael Hall, people I don't know. 2016 movie, 4 stars. He Was a Quiet Man with Christian Slater and William Macy. From 2007, I gave 4 stars. Lawyer Man with William Powell and Joan Blondell from 1932. I gave 3 stars. Boys and Girls, no one that I really know in this movie, but Freddie Prinze Jr. is listed here, I see. So one person that I know. I gave that's from 2000, I gave 2.5 stars. The Hunting Party, Oliver Reed, Gene Hackman, Candice Bergen, Simon Oakland, 1971 movie, a Western. I gave that 4.25 stars. Pretty good movie, The Hunting Party. Bounce with Ben Affleck and Gwyneth Paltrow. From 2000, I gave 3 stars. Sunshine, this was a science fiction movie. I think you pronounce his name Killian. I'm not positive. It's spelled with a C, but I think it's pronounced Killian, or otherwise it's Cillian. Murphy, Chris Evans. From 2007, I gave it 3.5 stars. Thought it was actually a very good movie. I could go as high as 4 stars or more if someone, I could be convinced to change my rating, or maybe watch it again and think different of it. The first 2/3 of the movie were really good, and then the last third, or some people would say the last act, kind of changes a bit. Some people like it, some people don't. It was okay. I thought that it could have been better, so I dropped it to, like I said, I would have given it 4 or better than 4, but I went with 3.75 stars. Excuse me, 3.5 stars I went with on that. I could go 3.75. Okay, A Few Best Men. I don't really know anybody in this movie. It's from 2011. I gave it 2 stars. Griff the Invisible. This was a pretty good movie. I wasn't an American movie. I'm not sure if it was Australian or English. I forget now. It's from 2010. I gave it 4 stars. It's no one that I know is in the movie. But 2010 movie, Griff the Invisible, 4 stars. What's next? 10,000 Saints with Ethan Hawke. I really like him. 2015 movie, but I only gave this 3 stars. I think Ethan Hawke is a great actor. He also writes books. There's some religion in those books. He's a little bit religious, or open-minded in terms of like politics and stuff, but he leans towards religion, and I don't. It's kind of something that bothers me a little bit about him, because I really like him as an actor, and I feel like the parts he plays, and he's open-minded. I'm not really sure. I guess he grew up with it. Just to me, it's so clearly not true, and I like to think of him as an intelligent guy. And so I don't know, Ethan, if you're watching this, I think you're a great actor, and I don't know. Do you believe literally, biblically speaking, in like that God? I don't know. That would bug me. Just 'cause I like you. I could like you even if you feel that way, because you're not like forcing it down anybody's throat. I just can't wrap my head around how somebody can like literally believe it. I don't know. I'm going off on a tangent here, but no one's gonna watch this anyway. So, next movie I watched, Harlock, Space Pirate, 2013, 3 stars. That was Harlock, Harlock, Space Pirate, 3 stars. The Good Guy, Brian Greenberg. I've seen him in another movie, I believe. I'm not really sure who the other people are. I gave that that's from 2009. I gave that 4 stars. The Good Guy. I thought that was a good movie. The Good Guy. A Guy Thing. Jason Lee, Julia Stiles, Selma Blair, James Brolin, David Kochner, Julie Haggerty. Kochner or Kochner, I'm not sure how he says it, but he's a good guy. I've seen him in other movies. I like him. Good character actor. That's from 2003. I didn't go 4 stars. I went 3.99. Couldn't get myself to go 4. It was a good movie. My Life in Ruins. Richard Dreyfuss. Not really sure. Rachel Dratch. Nia Vardalos. From 2009. 2.5 stars. The movie could have been better. It had the ingredients, but it was just kind of silly in the end. Gas, Food, Lodging. James Brolin is in that one again. I just mentioned his name a moment ago in A Guy Thing. Brooke Adams. I think it's pronounced Ione Skye. From 1992, 4 stars. I thought that was pretty good. Gas, Food, Lodging, 4 stars. This next one, I should have, now that I look at it, looked up how to pronounce this. Machina? I'm not sure how you say it. Domhnall Gleeson? That's a hard name. Domhnall. Corey Johnson, Oscar Isaac, Claire Selby, people I've never heard of. Let's see, what did I give that? That's from 2015. Some really nice effects, but I couldn't go 4 stars on that. I went 3.75. The Sad and Lonely Glow. This one here, I reviewed it on Amazon, and my review never showed up, and that's where because I don't make notes of what I'm grading movies as I do it. I just go to Amazon and look through them and I find my reviews, and that one was missing. I don't know what happened to it. So I think, looking back, that the Sad and Lonely Glow, I probably would have rated it 3.5 or 4 stars. I thought it was pretty good. I don't remember what I rated it. Let's see. Love and Other Drugs. Jake Gyllenhaal, Anne Hathaway, Oliver Platt, Hank Azaria, Judy Greer, from 2010. Love and Other Drugs. 4 stars. In a Relationship, that starred Emma Roberts, Michael Angarano, Dree Hemingway, Janet Montgomery, from 2018. 3.75 stars. In a Relationship. The Hustler, that was part of my 15-movie countdown that I started, I guess it was like last March, something like that. Each month I rewatch a movie that I really like a lot, counting down to retirement. So this was movie number 8, I think. The Hustler, with Paul Newman and Jackie Gleason. Great movie. Hold on a second. That was some like bogus phone call telling me about some drug. I don't know what they were talking about. Wasn't even American, the guy. Let's see here. Love and Other Disasters, with Brittany Murphy, Matthew Rhys, RHYS, Catherine Tate, from 2006. 4 stars. Interstellar, Ellen Burstyn, Matthew McConaughey, John Lithgow, Anne Hathaway, Matt Damon, Mackenzie Foy, from 2014. This movie got really good reviews. I watched it, obviously, and I gave it 3 stars, and I'm not even sure it deserved that. I did not think it was so good. Overblown, and just Sunshine was a better science fiction movie than that. Okay, Adrift, Shailene Woodley, Sam Claflin, Grace Palmer, Jeffrey Thomas, Elizabeth Hawthorne, and Tammy Ashcraft, from 2018. Again, the movie is called Adrift, and I gave it 4.5 stars. I looked up the book, thinking, this might be an interesting book, and it's just a lot of God talk in the book, and I wasn't interested. Luckily, the movie wasn't like that. Killing Me Softly, with Heather Graham, Joseph Fiennes, and Natasha McElhone, from 2002. This was kind of like an erotic suspense thriller romance movie. 3.5 stars. I kind of had an idea that the ending, who was involved in the bad stuff, I was right. It was mostly good the first 2/3. I thought that the ending kind of slowed down. I don't know. Not that it slowed down. Not that the movie slowed down. It just kind of slowed down for me. I just kind of got bored a little bit. Killing Me Softly, 3.5 stars. It was still a good movie, but now what am I going to watch today? I don't know. So I might have to tack on a movie next month, what I watched today. Went over the books I read. That's it for this month. November is done. I started this project a long time ago, and I'm really getting near the end here, and it's just amazing doing this every month. I just do it for me. No one's watching. I have like one friend that might watch sometimes, but it's just kind of fun. Maybe one day I'll go back and look at these in future years and remember doing this. Or then again, I might have a better life that I don't need to look at this. Not a better life, but just more important things to do than watch these old silly videos that I made. Anyway, until December's video, take care.